Alrighty, but before we close out the show here, let's get to this story because this is going to be fun, folks. This is going to be a good one because we get to knock this man right here. And once again, we only knock people that deserve to be knocked. And I think we can all agree this man deserved to be knocked a lot of bit, but we'll try to keep it in check where we're not disrespectful. We'll try not to cross that line. So here we go, folks. This story, if you haven't heard it, it's making its circles around social media, the national media, and all that. And oof, man, oh man, I love it. It's music to my ears because if you're going to treat people like the way that this man treated, then you deserve to get treated just the same way. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and nobody wants to be disrespected. Nobody wants to be questioned on anything, especially your credentials that got you to kind of the highest of your field. There's no other higher sports competition than the NFL. So if you are in the NFL, your credentials really should never have to be challenged. And this man, we all know he was challenging everybody's credentials, and I think we're going to get a little bit more in this story. So the big story going around today: former Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer was unfamiliar with star players around the NFL, including Deebo Samuel and Aaron Donald. He has been heard saying, quote, "Who's this 99 guy on the Rams?" Meyer has asked during the season. Who's this 99 guy on the Rams? Who's this 99 guy that just got to the Super Bowl, that just kind of pointed to his ring? Why is he kind of pointing to his ring finger without any rings? That's probably what Urban Meyer was saying before he won the ring. Remember, what was that, the NFC Championship game, something like that? Aaron Donald pointing to the finger, I think, after he sacked Jimmy Garoppolo on the final play, whatever it was, points to the finger like, "Where my ring?" Urban Meyer's like, "Oh yeah, like what is this guy talking about? Where's your ring? You don't got the ring yet. Why are you talking about potentially getting a ring? You haven't gotten the ring yet. Why are you pointing to the ring finger? Why are you doing that yet? You haven't gotten the ring. Why are you kind of expecting to get a ring? What have you done to expect to get a ring yet?" Well, Urban Meyer, I know you were good at college, but while you were good at college, Aaron Donald was wrecking havoc on everybody in the league. That's who 99 is. He's a game wrecker. He wrecks havoc on the entire game. And what just won this season? 99. He just got a ring while your ass was fired. So who are you? What are your credentials? 1-2 wins with the Jaguars. Congratulations, Urban. So we got an entire article here of Urban Meyer, people coming out about Urban Meyer, about what he was doing with the Jags. We've already gotten a lot of stuff, heard a lot of stuff, talked about him, when he was fired, and a lot of stuff, leaking out. Obviously the biggest, questioning everybody's credentials, putting everybody down every second. He was physically kicking like the kickers and stuff. Just stuff that no leader should be doing. Really at all. You should not be verbally assaulting any of your staff, even if they are trash. Even if your staff is trash and all that, that's not how you get the best out of people. You don't diminish them. You don't harp on all their failures to get the best out of them. Yes, that works in some settings like MMA, where you're literally punching people in the mouth, like making them bleed. Football's a little bit different. Yes, you're still kind of quote-unquote punching them in the mouth with your pads and all that, but fighting in NFL, I think, are a little bit different. You're locked in a cage. You have to get kind of, permission to fight. You must, that's why you can fight in the cage and only the ring in the cage, because if you fight anywhere outside that, it's illegal and you get arrested. You can only fight in this one designated area. Football's a little bit different. I can go out and, play football whenever I want. I'm not restricted to only playing football in a field, because outside the field, it's illegal. Now, granted, Aaron Donald should be illegal. The man should not be able to do anything outside of anything, because the man is so great. Urban, once again, a little bit of a news flash for you. Urban Meyer, Aaron Donald is so good that his entire body should be kind of like boxers' hands are legalized weapons. Aaron Donald, his entire body should be a legalized weapon. He should have security wherever he is at all times, because everything about him is a legalized weapon. He touches somebody, that's enough force to potentially kill somebody, folks. That's who number 99 is, Urban Meyer. But we've got the whole article here, folks. We've got the entire article. The Atlantic putting it behind a paywall. So spend the dollar. But if we're not incriminating ourselves, but here we go. We've got the article. Did we spend the dollar? I plead the fifth, okay? So the Athletic here runs this article. We've got the entire article. Want to go through the entire article to truly see what this man was doing. Because once again, the man really had no place to be in the NFL. Just because you're good at the college system does not mean you would make a good NFL head coach. So the Jaguars give him a chance. I wasn't opposed to the chance. At the beginning, I didn't love that he was out of the game for so long, and the fact that, why he left Ohio State in the first place because of medical conditions, because he was getting so upset coaching. He was putting so much energy coaching-wise in the college program, and it just never made sense to me. Why would you go to more stress in the NFL if your health was that big of concern? So I didn't get the hire at the beginning. I didn't knock the hire because he did have success in the college program. We did take everything with a grain of salt because we did see what Nick Saban did from the college to the NFL program. Nothing. So, we still kept that big old grain of salt with Urban Meyer. And then once we saw Tim Tebow, we were instantly out because what are you doing? You don't know how to judge talent. You're bringing in your friends. You're showing nepotism. You're showing unfavorability to a room of players, grown men that need your respect to make anything work. Your players must respect your head coach. Do the Rams players respect Sean McVay? Yeah, I'm sure they do because they just won a ring, folks. So you need that aspect on your team. And Urban Meyer, since day one of getting the Jags job of bringing in Tim Tebow, we knew all that was out the window. So let's see what Urban Meyer is all about, what this man is truly all about. Is this man a good coach or not? Should he have gotten a job? Let's see what he did here in this Jaguars team. And the headline of this article is, quote, the most toxic environment I've ever been a part of inside Urban Meyer's disastrous year with the Jags. Here we go, folks. Urban Meyer burst into a room full of players at the Jaguars facility. He was furious. One of his players had missed an assignment during a preseason game, leading to a busted play. Meyer was enraged when it happened. A day later, he was still fuming. If the mistake ever happened again, Meyer warned he would cut every single one of them. Quote, and do you know what would happen if I cut you guys? Meyer said, according to 4 people in the room. You couldn't get a job paying more than $15 an hour. You couldn't get a job paying more than $15 an hour. Once again, Urban Meyer using these kind of strong man tactics from the college program and then continuing that in the NFL. Once again, all this is not going to work with grown men. It works with kids. Oh my God, if I don't play football, if I don't make it to the NFL, if I don't do good, I'm only going to be getting a $15 an hour job. You can use that in college because that's a little bit more close. These people are millionaires already. Hopefully most of them are smart with their money. We don't know. But, even if they don't get another NFL job, they should be able to be comfortable for the rest of their lives. So Urban Meyer, if you make this mistake again, you wouldn't get a job paying $15 an hour. You couldn't even get a job at McDonald's. All right, real intimidating, Urban Meyer. Real intimidating. Like if somebody said that to you, like a grown man, like what are you talking about? Don't come to me like that. Like I'm a child. So Urban Meyer, right off the rip, so mad because, and once again, I don't care if it was preseason. You use preseason to gauge to get better. So if, coaches want to kind of make an example out of, a preseason play or get upset over a preseason play. And once again, I don't care about coaches getting upset. Of course, coaches are going to get upset. That's part of the gig. That's part of the job. Holding your players accountable, showing that, if the player, misses an assignment or takes a day, play off, that does, jeopardize the entire team, jeopardize the entire game and potentially the entire season based off one play. So I don't mind Urban Meyer getting mad over one play. Getting mad the next day, that's where you had the issue. I mean, in a loss, folks, what do they say? We'll think about it today and then we move on tomorrow. Even in a win, hey, we'll celebrate the win right now, but we move on tomorrow. Like you got to move on. You got to, put it behind you. You put all the bad plays behind you. So that's where I really had the problem with Urban Meyer. I mean, you're supposed to move on over the next day, not still harp. How are players supposed to learn and get better and move on if you're not moving on? So 2 strikes off of Urban Meyer right here. Once again, threatening $15 an hour jobs. You're not even getting the $15 an hour jobs. That's not going to work with grown men. And second of all, harping when you're supposed to be moving on. So 2 strikes off of Urban Meyer right off the rip. 2 things I would never do if I was a coach right there off the rip on the first paragraph, the first quote. So I think we're in for a treat here. Yes, folks? Should we keep track too? Bad things Urban Meyer has done. Some things we can get, kind of, okay, maybe some people don't like, people that don't come from sports or competition, they don't understand or anything like that. But yeah, those are 2 right there. Those are 2 things, 2 big X's on Urban Meyer we cannot excuse. So let's keep on going here. The implication that his players were capable of a little more than playing football left some angry, others offended, saying, quote, "I lost all respect for him after that," a veteran player in the room said. Yeah, once again, just that aspect. I didn't even think of that. Urban Meyer, you're only good at football. Once again, the shut up and dribble crowd. Oh, you're only out there because you're good at football. That. Okay, folks, okay. People are deeper than their sport and all that. You're deeper than your job, so please spare me by throwing those insults at people. It doesn't work as much as y'all think it does. Oh, you guys can only play basketball. Y'all are only good at football. And what are y'all good at? Y'all got a mediocre job. What are y'all talking about? It's just so funny how superior people talk about themselves at sometimes. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, even that, yeah, respect. These are grown men. These are not college age men, call them men, guys becoming men, whatever you want to call them. These are not college age men. These are true grown men out here. It's not going to work on them, Urban. The fact that this man took the job and was confident taking this job, it's still brain scratching, folks. Back, here we go, continuing on. Meyer arrived in Jacksonville with a mixed resume. He'd won national championships at Florida and Ohio State, but he brought plenty of baggage, ranging from harsh treatment of players and staff to mishandling domestic abuse allegations levied against one of the longest tenured assistants, Zach Smith. Friends and family over the years have labeled Meyer a control freak and perfectionist, and as he climbed the ranks, he developed a reputation as a tough, obsessive, win-at-all-cost coach who, by his own admission, was, quote, addicted to victory. But according to coaches, players, and staff in Jacksonville, Meyer crossed the line from tough and demanding to the belittling, demeaning, and leading by fear. And yeah, once again, it is a fine line. You can be obsessed, winning, once again, a big thing that I don't like is how people talk about winning. Winning, means different things to different people. It means more inside. People competition drives me, folks. I love competition, but I keep it in check. We all know, the people that love competition are annoying at it, or love competition and are not annoying at it. There is a difference between the two. So yes, you can love competition, but you still can't cross that fine line. You can be win obsessed. You can be addicted to winning. That is all fine. And I would always stand up for the people that claim they are addicted to winning. That is fine. I completely agree with that. But to cross that line into disrespect, that's where, you have to keep your own emotions in check. You can have your own emotions, that's fine, but you can't, once your emotions start affecting others, that's when you have to kind of, look withinwards and figure it out and kind of change it so it doesn't kind of overspill outside into that disrespectful realm. So he had to rein it in and all that, and he never reined it in, and then always used the excuse of, well, I'm just addicted to winning. Well, that's fine, but that's not going to be an excuse. You can't make that as an excuse. You can be addicted to it, that's fine, but you must be able to control the addiction. That's why we send you to AA when the addiction gets out of control. It's all right to have a little bit of an addiction, I would say. I don't think addiction is all bad, but you need to keep it in check, absolutely 100%. Urban Meyer never did that, but then always used, I'm just addicted. That's just my personality. I'm just addicted to it. I can't change. Well, that's just a cop-out and excuse, and that I don't respect. I will never respect that. So Urban Meyer right there, using, I'm just addicted to winning. I'm going to count that as a mark against him as well. You can't just use that as an excuse. I'm addicted to winning for being an asshole. All right, what else do we get here? Quote, the most toxic environment I've ever been a part of, a veteran member of the football operations staff said, quote, by far, not even close. Oof. Receiver DJ Chark, who signed with the Lions last week after spending the first 4 years of his career with the Jaguars, said Meyer routinely threatened to fire coaches and cut players. Quote, he feels like threats are what motivates. Exactly that. It's different from college players to regular grown men or just people in general. Yeah, maybe some grown men will kind of react to that. Once again, the fire that you need in you to kind of play MMA or football, they are different, but overall there is an extra motivation in physical sports. So I get kind of the physical motivation and all that, and coaches yelling at people or just kind of being like, all right, I know you can do better, you got it next time, all right, all right, shake it off, do it next time better. There are different ways of coaching, just like there's different ways of learning, different ways of teaching. There are different ways of coaching, and kind of kicking people in the ass, that does kind of work. That does work. There are a group of people that works for them. You need to kick them in the ass to get the better out of them. That does work, but that doesn't work with anybody. That does not work with me. That did not work with me, folks. That's probably why I'm not playing football at the current moment, or maybe I'm just not that good. I wasn't that good, but maybe if I was motivated right, maybe that happens. Maybe. Who knows? We don't dwell in the past. I could care less. Is it a regret? Yeah, maybe, but we digress here. But yeah, I mean, people respond differently to how you coach them, so that's the job of the coach. Find out how really kind of everybody on your team needs to be coached and coach them that specific particular way. Like what a good teacher makes. He knows how to teach all of his students. He knows how to give the help that the students need, whether it's just telling them the answer or leading them to the answer. That's the teacher's job of how the kids learn, how the students learn. He must individualize. We always talk about the education system of, oh my God, you got 30 students to one teacher. How could that even work? How can that one teacher take responsibility for all those students? Well, if you want to be a good teacher, you're going to have to do that, because that's what it entails. That's what coaching, that's what teaching entails. Once again, coaching. What do we knock Adam Gase for? Trying to fit everybody into one scheme. No, that's not how you do it. What do your players do good? Then fit the scheme around that. Same thing with coaching. How do your coaches want to be coached? Then tool your coaching around that. And so far in the Jaguars, nobody was responding to the $15 an hour threats. Nobody was kind of, buying into the, hey, I'm going to cut you threats. Nobody was, buying into, hey, what's your resume? Check and anything like that. So everything Urban Meyer was doing was wrong, and the players were kind of showing that with distrust in him, and he never finished it. He never changed it, and then he fell back on the excuse of, oh, well, I'm just addicted to winning. So exactly that, folks. Urban Meyer, he's not a good guy, he's not a good coach, and we're done with him, man. Absolutely. So let's keep going here. What else do we got? Yep, we read that. Yep, here we go. Back to the quote. Quote by DJ Chark on Urban Meyer says, quote, he feels like threats are what motivates. I know he would come up to us and tell us if the receivers weren't good enough, he wasn't going to fire us. He was going to fire our coach. He would usually say that when the coach was around. Wow, oh, wow. Be like, damn, if y'all are so trash, I'm firing the coach. I'm going to hit you where it hurts. I'm going to fire the coach. And then the coach is standing there like, I'm not the one out there telling them. That's the players. You got the coaches after selling the players under the bus. Don't fire me, fire them, cut them. No, not me. So Urban Meyer, just straight up asshole everywhere, folks. Straight up asshole. Continuing on, kicker Josh Lambo said last year Meyer kicked him during warm-ups, a fact Meyer's lawyers repeatedly conceded to Rick Strauss, the reporter who broke the story for the Tampa Bay Times. Lambo believed Meyer's kick was an act of, quote, intimidation, a theme echoed by several people in the organization. One player described the year with Meyer as, quote, mentally exhausting. That's what you want your players thinking? Mentally exhaustion when they're talking about their coach, folks. That's the last thing. We need everybody sharp. Everybody's got to be mentally sharp. That's why they tell you to tune out all the distractions. At the start of the football season, this is your family. This is the most important thing. Football right here. Everything else is a distraction, because they know if the slightest distraction arises on any of the players, it's a wrap for the entire locker room. So your own coach was making that big drastic mistake there of bringing his influence, knocking off everybody on their game, distracting everybody off of their game, was the head coach, folks, not any other outside influence. That's the big problem right there. All right, Jaguars replaced Meyer with former Super Bowl winning head coach Doug Peterson. The Jaguars replaced Meyer with former Super Bowl winning head coach Doug Peterson in early February, but some who experienced Meyer's brand of leadership want a fuller public accounting of his tenure. Meyer's attorney said his client would not comment for the story. Doug Peterson? I didn't do Doug Peterson, right? The Jaguars head coach is not named Doug Peterson either, right? What the hell is that? Y'all got me wanting to subscribe to your article and you're not... Oh, he did go there. Oh, I'm bugging. What? I forgot all about that, folks. All the news here, free agent news, I forgot Doug Peterson is now the head coach. I forgot the interim coach obviously was not Doug Peterson. They hire him after. Wow. But yeah, Doug Peterson with Trevor Lawrence, that should be fantastic. Yeah, Doug Peterson. We love Doug Peterson. We forgot that. Man, oh man, there's so much information, folks. Man, oh man. NFL's going crazy this year, folks. Russell Wilson with the Broncos. Doug Peterson now on the Jaguars. The league is upside down, folks. Derek Carr reunited with Devontae Adams. How crazy. All right, but here we go. Continuing on in the article. Signs of dysfunction were apparently early on. Several sources said Meyer stepped into the job as if he had all the answers, even though he had never coached in the NFL. Well, that's another strike. Thinking you know everything because you were good at college? I mean, do you not understand? Have you not seen college players bust, a la Ryan Leaf? Have you not seen college coaches bust, a la Urban Meyer? And this man had the gall to come in thinking he knew everything about everything. Another strike on Urban Meyer. We're up to four big old battle strikes. Do we do 5 because we didn't count the kicking the kicker, kicking the ball? That should have been a political cartoon. Urban Meyer kicking Josh Lambo, who's kicking a football. You know, that'd be funny. All right, but yeah, that's what we got. 5 strikes already on Urban Meyer. We're 30% into the article, it says. All right, but continuing on, Meyer said he conducted a 6-month deep dive on the NFL that included interviews with his former Florida and Ohio State players, as well as a study of the salary cap. But multiple sources said Meyer was unfamiliar with star players around the league, including 49 receivers Deebo Samuel, Seahawks safety Jamal Adams, and Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald, a 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Quote, who's this 99 guy on the Rams? Meyer asked one staffer during the season, according to a source. Says, quote, I'm hearing he might be a problem for us. Yeah, but was he saying it goofingly, like, hey, who's this 99 guy? Like, ironically? So we don't get that. Okay, we won't hold that against Urban Meyer. Could have been just being Smurfy. We know Urban Meyer's a maniac. Maybe that's his sign of Smurfiness. Hey, who's that guy? And then takes it on too long, like doesn't know when the joke to end. And then like 2 years later, he's like, oh, I still didn't even know who Aaron Donald was. Like, we don't know if that's Urban Meyer. So we won't count that against him. It is funny, though. Continuing on with the article, in his first staff meeting, Meyer criticized the way NFL teams operate, noting specifically that coaches failed to take proper care of players' health. And then, according to multiple sources in the meeting, Meyer said, quote, I hate scouts. Scouts are lazy. It was an especially jarring comment given the scouts were also in the room. So this man openly criticizing everybody because he's so superior in his own self, folks. That's why you criticize others, because you know you feel like you're so higher, you're so mightier than all of them, so you have no problem disrespecting everybody right in front of their face. And a little bit of a pussy way to do it as well. Like, well, I guess not like telling it to their face, but he's not telling it to their face. He's saying it in an open forum, not verbally or kind of eye contact with them. He's not saying it to them. He's saying it around them. Like, hey, please question me right now. I dare you. Like, this is a pussy move by Urban Meyer all around, folks, honestly. So continuing on here. Chark said, the year began with optimism. Jacksonville's player turned out in high number for voluntary workouts, eager for the new season under Meyer, but says, quote, but the way he was running the ship, it was impossible to succeed. In training camp, Meyer pushed for live contract drills despite objections from veteran coaches. One of those drills fell on what Meyer called, quote, winner and loser days. 2 players would compete, and the winner would be announced over the loudspeaker. After one blocking drill, Meyer insisted Chark do extra reps. The receiver suffered a broken finger, underwent surgery, and missed a preseason. So, yeah, that's probably not the best thing to do. You know, hey, losers do extra reps, anything like that, extra time for injuries, extra activities for injuries. That's why players don't love doing pads throughout the regular season, because of the injuries, and they just got off the game and all that. For the winner and loser days, having the names of the winners be announced over the loudspeaker, I don't mind that. Competition, all that, it can be very well done and all in good fun and stuff like that, and a little bit of serious nature as well. But the way that Urban Meyer does it, I'm sure it wasn't right. But overall, I don't mind that 100%. Next up here, continuing on in the article, Meyer also forbade players from speaking with opponents on the field before games. Once claimed the Jaguars lost because they dressed sloppily and told offensive players he wanted them to dunk the ball over the goalposts after touchdowns, even though doing so would draw a fine from the league. But more than Meyer's coaching quirks, if you want to call him that, the way he treated people particularly troubled some in the organization. Another thing here, talking to the players before the games, I don't mind that either. I just don't, from like a competition aspect, I don't want to kind of, be chumming it up with the, my opposition. Handshake sportsmanship, I think, is a little kind of overused as well. If you don't want to be sportsman-like, don't be disrespectful. Absolutely, there's a fine line of being disrespectful. But if you don't want to kind of, high five after the game, shake hands after the games, I really don't mind doing that either. So, I know it's bad because it's all coming from Urban Meyer and it seems all bad, but some of the things, I don't disagree with. I know players don't like that. Players aren't going to like you not letting them talk to players, because once again, everybody's sense of competition is different. Not everybody weighs it as much as everybody else. Yes, some people still love competition. That's always the baseline. That's why they are, professional players, because they somewhat love the competition. But everybody's love of competition and how much they feed in that competition and how much they just really mentally buy into competition, it's all different. So that's why I don't knock anybody's kind of competitive edge or anything like that, because everybody's kind of different in their thinking of what competition is and what should and should not be allowed, or not allowed, but just kind of done in a competitive setting, folks. So some of those I don't mind by Urban Meyer. Continuing on, not long after veteran receiver John Brown signed with the Jaguars as a free agent, he ran the wrong route in practice. To correct the mistake, Brown, who is from Florida, and rookie quarterback Trevor Lawrence ran through the route again after practice. Meyer walked up to the pair, said, quote, "Hey, Trevor, you've got to slow it down for him. These boys from the South, their transcripts ain't right." So once again, Urban Meyer with the whole kind of, college, bringing that to the NFL. Will you stop? Will you grow? Like everything from college he's bringing here to the NFL, folks. It does not work like that. Another time during a meeting that also included members of the coaching and personnel staff, Meyer berated a player so harshly that the player cried. Oh my gosh. According to two sources, Meyer slammed the door after departing the meeting, leaving others to console the player. The next day, one of the other staff members present confronted Meyer about the incident and what one source described as a tense exchange. Sources said Myers repeatedly belittled his staff to its members' faces. He told his assistants he was a winner and they were losers, then demanded they defend their resumes. We talked about that. One player said it was coaches often looked drained whenever they left staff meetings with Meyer. Says, quote, "The players got it so bad when it comes to him talking to us, but I believed the coaches got it worse." Quote, "You've got players in fear that they're going to lose their jobs. You've got coaches who he belittled in front of us, and I can only imagine what he was doing behind closed doors. I'm surprised he lasted that long, to be honest with you." So, I think I'm gonna end it here, but man, oh man, I mean, what more do we need to hear from Urban Meyer? Everything that we kind of heard earlier on is kind of confirming true, and all this new information is just so above and beyond. Urban Meyer truly is a maniac, folks. But I want to read this potentially last one thing right here. First paragraph first sentence catches the eye. The most notorious incident of Meyer's tenure came in late September when Jacksonville played a Thursday night game in Cincinnati. The was this where he stayed? Is this where he stayed in Ohio? The Jaguars lost to the Bengals 24-21, their fourth straight defeat after the season opener. Meyer had confidently told his team he had never lost two in a row, But after the Cincinnati loss, one source said, Meyer looked, quote, shell-shocked in the locker room. He told players he had nothing to say. Good. Shell-shocked. I want that man to be so embarrassed. I'm so glad Urban Meyer loves winning so much that he was so embarrassed losing so much for the Jaguars. I'm glad you're embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. You are a disgrace of a coach. You're a disgrace of a mentor, a leader, a coach, who everything it stands for. You're a disgrace. You're not a winner at all. And you're an absolute garbage head coach at the highest position. Congratulations. You did it at the second highest level. You did it at the second highest level, the college program. Congratulations, Urban Meyer. You beat a bunch of schools that were trash. Congratulations. You could not get it done in the highest level where everybody was good. Urban Meyer, you're a trash coach. You don't even know what it means to be a coach, and you don't even know what it takes to win at the highest level. Absolute trash, and you should be shell-shocked. Garbage, Urban Meyer. But let's get back to the article. Neither. Let me blow the nose real quick. All right, here we go. Neither coaches nor players, however, realized that Meyer didn't board the team flight that night. Neither coaches nor players, however, realized. That's funny. They didn't even know Urban Meyer was gone. So that's how much they didn't care about him. Nobody even realized if he was on the plane or not. It wasn't until a video emerged over the weekend showing Meyer dancing with a young woman in his Ohio steakhouse that players and coaches learned he had stayed behind. Multiple sources said Meyer went from position group to position group, telling players that the women in the video tried to lure him into the dance floor despite Meyer's refusal. But according to two sources, soon after he left one position group, a second, more provocative video became public, throwing everything Meyer said in doubt. So he's a liar. You know, he begs for forgiveness when he does wrong, but nobody else can beg for forgiveness when Urban Meyer deems that they did wrong. So hypocrite, liar, everything like that, adulterer. He's a garbage human being, folks. And I've got no problem saying this, honestly. If you're going to show us this, then we're going to, speak how it is. And this is, you want, and yes, you can always learn from mistakes and get better and change and all that. Yes, he can do that. But until he proves that, I'm going to think of him as a garbage person. That's how I think of Urban Meyer. In late November, Meyer told reporters that receivers were running the wrong routes. As NFL Network's Tom Pelleroso reported, the comment so enraged veteran receiver Marvin Jones that Marvin Jones left the team facility. He eventually confronted Meyer at practice, but was diplomatic when he spoke to reporters about the incident, saying, quote, I'll just say this, there was something that was brought to my attention that I didn't like too well. And we read that story as well. So seems like we've really kind of hit everything here on Urban Meyer and everything that the article has to say. So once again, that is Urban Meyer. Glad that he's out of the league. Should never get a chance again to coach in the NFL. He should not get a chance to redeem himself. I would say that squash of how extreme he was year one. I don't even give him a chance to redeem himself. He can redeem himself on the outside, saying he's a great person, all that. That's fine, but I don't think he should be allowed in another NFL's locker room. He's broken that kind of, trust and bond between coach and player, professional and player, and kind of business and playing side, business and competitive side. He overstepped those boundaries too many times, and I think we're just done. We all should be done with him. So there's Urban Meyer, folks. Seems like a great guy. Seems like a great guy, but I don't know. All right, so that's what an article. All right, so Urban Meyer, garbage coach. I think we can all agree with that.